Hello guys, it's Briggsyboy here, welcome back to my channel, and today we have more football matchday content for you guys to sit back and enjoy. So today's game that we will be talking about is Blackburn Rovers versus Middlesbrough, back at Ewood Park for league action. Now it's going to be an interesting game, okay, because Blackburn Rovers, with 2 games gone of the 19-20 season, are yet to pick up any points, so we are rooted to bottom of the table. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, have 1 point to their name, with new manager Jonathan Woodgate, who took the reins a few months back. Looking back at previous encounters with our visitors Middlesbrough, last time the two faced each other at Ewood Park, it did end in a 1-0 victory to Middlesbrough, courtesy of a goal from Briggsyboy. Definitely a key player for Middlesbrough to look out for today. Now, as I said, Jonathan Woodgate is of course the new manager in charge of Middlesbrough, and it's his first managerial job. The 39-year-old has spent quite a bit of his career at the club, so he knows them fairly well, as does Tony Mowbray, of course, a former boss at Middlesbrough. As for the team news for Rovers going into this game, now what we do know is that Greg Cunningham could make his league debut for Rovers this afternoon. Now we're saying it's very likely he is going to slot into left back in that defence. With the 2 centre-backs hopefully being Lenihan and Williams. They are back fit, they've been in training, and that is a huge boost for us because with both of them being out, we could have been in a lot of danger. However, in saying that, Tosin Adebayo, I don't know if I've said that right, I've probably butchered it, but the centre-back that we got from City on loan, he is a doubt. He picked up a knock, as we know, so it's unlikely he is going to be starting today. Mowbray has got a bit of a dilemma though, whether he plays Danny Graham up front. Now, as we know, he started on the bench for the first 2 league matches, but he did start on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup against Oldham. Mowbray said he was one of the key players there. He, of course, set up 2 of the goals, and he did play 90 minutes as well, so a good performance from Danny on the Tuesday. Likely, I would say, Mowbray is going to play Graham for this game, probably as a 4-5-1 and Graham as the holding player, because as we know, that generally does work well. It's not usually the formation that you'd want to play at home, however, just from previous encounters with Middlesbrough and how they do set themselves up on their travels, they of course scored 3 goals last Saturday in a 3-3 draw against Luton, so I wouldn't expect Mowbray to throw caution to the wind and have 2 or 3 up front. I would expect him to go for that standard 4-5-1. Keep it composed when we're off the ball, possession-wise, keeping it nice and tidy, closing down players, keeping the press nice and high. And then when we are on the attack, maybe slip into that 4-3-3, so Armstrong and Downing come into the centre with Graham. But this is the lineup that I would personally go for today's game. I have gone with Walton in goal, of course, a defence of Ryan Niambi in right back, Lenihan and Williams is the centre-back pairings, Greg Cunningham left back, 2 centre-mids being Travis and, of course, Bradley Johnson, right mid Stuart Downing with left mid Armstrong, Bradley Dack as the cam, and then Danny Graham as the striker. The lone striker, sort of the player that can hold the ball up nicely up top for us when we are trying to keep possession, keep hold of the ball. As we know, Middlesbrough are a team that do like to have a lot of the ball. They can punish you, so that's what I mean about the whole 4-5-1. When we're not on the attack, keeping it nice, keeping the press there, trying to keep the possession and try and shut Middlesbrough down. Then when we do go on the attack, like I mentioned, the 4-3-3, so you'd have Travis, Johnson and Downing probably in the centre there to just keep things nice and tight. Obviously that then gives the option of Ryan Niambi being right back and Greg Cunningham as left back to push on. You have your right and left wing, so in that case Armstrong on the left, probably Dack in the right, and then Graham stays in the centre role as the striker. Right, so of course an important part of the video, score prediction for today's game. Now, it's not going to be easy by any means. Both teams want to get to 3 points to get the season running. I personally think today is going to be a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1, okay? The goal for Middlesbrough, I think it's going to be that man again, Briggsyboy, who nets it for Borough. As for Rovers, I'm going to go a little bit different on this one. I am going to go with a Darragh Lenihan headed goal, okay? That is my prediction for today's game. Right, so now it is time to get the views of a Borough fan. So I've enlisted the help of my good friend, football vlogger and Middlesbrough supporter, A.J.T. So let's hear what he has to say in the build-up to the game, Rovers versus Middlesbrough.
Alright, hello everybody on Briggsyboy's channel. He's asked me to give a minute clip or so on tomorrow's game against, of course, Middlesbrough, my team. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous going into this one, if I'm honest with you. I've said a draw, I said I'd take a point, but at the same time, I think to myself, well, Blackburn haven't won a game this season, so too have Borough, but you've got the home advantage and we haven't. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow, and even though our mindset and the fan side, the players, everyone to do with Borough is to, well, listen, it's to try and get them 3 points tomorrow. It's going to be exactly the same on all your Rovers fans and everything to do with Blackburn. I think Woodgate, first managerial job is Borough. Listen, a Borough boy as well. Listen, our back is full contract at the Borough 3 years or so. Completely stand by him. I think this season for me, I think Borough finish. I think probably, listen, I wouldn't be angry if finish 8th. I think this season's all about building. Plus, it isn't really Woodgate's team.
Once again, a big thanks to A.J.T for doing that video for us and sending over his thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. I will leave the link in the description down below. He does produce some really good content that is well worth watching. Right, so then, that is all our pre-match thoughts going into the game between Rovers and Borough. It is now time then for the game to get underway. We'll have a look at the lineups, see what we think, and then give our post-match thoughts after that and get the views of Tony Mowbray. So like I say, unfortunately I'm not going down to the game, but let's crack on anyway, and let's hope that Rovers can pick up the first 3 points of the season today on home turf. Come on you Blues. Right, so then there we go. That marks full time of the Blackburn Rovers versus Middlesbrough game, and Rovers get their first win of the season, so I'm happy about that. It's a 1-0 win courtesy of a Danny Graham penalty. First though, let's just have a look at the lineup that Mowbray went for this game, okay? Now, we touched upon it before kick-off, and interesting looking at it, there's not too many changes to what I originally anticipated, well, the predicted lineup that I would go with. So the only difference being that he did put Bennett in right back, which was always an option. Nyambi did get 90 minutes on Tuesday night, don't forget. So Bennett played right back as captain. And then the only difference then being Gallagher, who played on the wing instead of Armstrong. Graham being the sole striker in the centre, like I did predict though. So then let's get the post-match thoughts from the gaffer, Tony Mowbray, about that 1-0 win over Middlesbrough.
I bet your players will sleep well tonight. They worked hard for you, didn't they?
I just said that in the dressing room. That's whatever we've been trying to do through pre-season and make them a bit more technical or put some more passes together. It's we went back to basics today and doing the basics well, and that's what I said. Listen, I'll never question their desire and drive and passion and emotion to try and win football games. Might occasionally get beat by a better team with an individual with some quality that can hurt us, but I don't think they want for a desire to try and win a game.
There appeared a huge desire to keep that back door shut today.
Yeah, I'm delighted for Dara and for Derek, of course. Dara hasn't trained for a week or so. And Derek Williams, as I said to you, he's had a conversation that he wants to be recognised as a centre-half, and whatever the competition is, that's where he wants to play. And I thought his steadiness really today, some important blocks, and he's pretty composed with the ball coming out, picked some passes, so delighted for them. I was a centre-half for 20 years, and it has to be in your belly to keep clean sheets. It's what you do when you go to work, clean sheets. Don't worry about the little guys up front who can take all the glory. You keep your clean sheet and then be happy and sleep well on a night.
Spoke about some of your new players during the commentary today, and of course it takes time for them to get used to what exactly you want, but if you were coming here today and you didn't know that Greg Cunningham, that Bradley Johnson, that Sam Gallagher are relatively new to the building, you wouldn't be able to tell, would you? They all three of them today were terrific.
Yeah, I think that's the dressing room really. That's nothing I do really. That's the dressing room. We've set the standards and the demands of how hard you work. The Elliot Bennetts, the Danny Grahams, the Bradley Dacks, they demand. That's what the standard is really. And so you can't have an off day, an easy day, tippy-tappy day. You have to go to war when you play for our team. And whilst it's been disappointing to lose at Fulham and to get beat at your opening day, I think there's a lot of really good qualities in this team still, and I think we'll have a decent season. And because of the qualities you saw today, there'll be better football teams than us, but it doesn't mean they can beat us. And looking forward to the season. I've always said that. I don't get too downbeat after a few games. Let's talk after a dozen games of where we are and how many victories we've had and how we got them or how the games felt. We're looking forward to everyone. Hull on the week on Tuesday, and then Neil Warnock brings his Cardiff City here, and I'm sure that will be a tasty affair as well.
Do you think you'll have Adebayo for Tuesday?
I think Tuesday might be a bit tight. I'm not sure. it's not a bad injury. It's a touch and go situation really, and it'll probably be on the back of a clean sheet. It'll probably be, let's go again. Let's give them lads an opportunity again, and by the weekend, who's to say, Cardiff come in with the team that they'll bring and the power they'll bring and the set plays they'll bring and the directness they'll bring, that he might be ready for the weekend, and we'll wait and see.
Right, so like I said earlier, I'm very happy that we managed to get that win against Middlesbrough. It's good that we've got those first few points of the season. I think that could possibly springboard us to get some more points now. You look at Hull on the Tuesday night, and then Cardiff City and West Brom, 2 very tough games. But as we know, no game is easy in this division, and I think that's going to give us the confidence going forward. Danny Graham, I think, is still doing a brilliant job in the centre of our attack. Age doesn't matter for me because he just does the role that he needs to do. With him resting the first 2 games, then coming in this match and getting a goal, that's certainly going to give Mowbray confidence and keep him in that team. Apparently Gallagher had a strong game as well, as did Greg Cunningham making his league debut for Rovers, and Bradley Johnson had another good game there with Travis in the centre. I think Travis picked up man of the match. But yeah, from what I've heard, pretty much every Rovers player on that pitch had a strong match, which is really good to see. Stuart Downing went up against his former team and, still played very well. So there is lots of positive signs to take from that. As we heard in the post-match interview from Mowbray in regards to tossing, it's unlikely he'll be there Tuesday. It is only a slight knock, he says, but it's one of those, will he risk it when Lenihan and Williams have had such a solid game, as have Bennett and Cunningham, the whole of the defence really. So I wouldn't expect him to change too much around and throw caution to the wind. Unfortunately, I won't be there on the Tuesday night of the Hull game, as you know. I am off to Morecambe as they face Macclesfield away, but I am still going to get into as many Rovers games as I can, so there will be plenty of matchday content out on the channel. But apart from that, make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.